What's going on, guys? Johnny on the track here with another video. And today I'm going to look and do some quick picks for this weekend's race at Richmond. So, Richmond's an interesting track. I feel like the past, I don't know, 5 or so years, kind of with the last gen car, it really hasn't delivered to, I think, what a lot of fans think that Richmond can be, which is a good old fashioned short track. Even though it's a little, it's 0.75 miles. People want that short track feel, and I think Richmond really has kind of lost that flavor these, last few to 5 years. I do think with the next gen car, that we should have a pretty good race. The only time I feel like we've really seen a track like this was back all the way to the Clash, a short track. Phoenix is right around a 1 miler, but it's so unique in the way it's configured. You can go like 5, 6 wide, especially on that apron. So although it's sort of like that's a shorter track, Richmond, I think right now is going to fall into a category of its own. So with that, I think there should be a lot of optimism around this race. It's fairly the first time we're going to see like a short track. The Clash, I feel like, was sort of, teams were feeling it out. It was prep. A lot of guys, there were a lot of problems early on with the cars. I don't know how seriously the drivers took it. We are in season now. We were at Richmond for what I would say the first real short track of the season. And I think, and I hope that Richmond's going to deliver, like a classic Gordon, Rusty Wallace, Earnhardt Jr., Kyle Busch, something like that, where those days where the racing at Richmond was really good. So we shall see. With that, I want to get into a few names and teams that I think we should watch for this weekend, whether you're, doing some bets, some DFS, DraftKings, FanDuel, or just, picking to win the race. I think the first guy that really we should take a look at is the guy who's been hot these last couple of weeks, and that's Alex Bowman. He got the win at Las Vegas. Had a really good finish at the truck race at Coda. Should have maybe, if Ross doesn't make that move, maybe he should have won at Coda. And, the narrative would have still been another win that falls right into his lap, right? But this is a guy who's hot. He's going to a track where he's had a lot of success at. He won last year, if you remember this same race. So Alex Bowman, I think, is a guy that you have to watch to really possibly go out and win this thing. He's had speed. Hendrick has had speed all year. He's kind of been the main catalyst for this team. I know, Larson is kind of the big dog there, but Larson has really not had a good season with the exception of his win. Other than that, it's kind of been abysmal for Larson, which we'll actually get into. But, I think Alex Bowman is a guy right now that is hot. He's going to a track he likes where he's had success. You got to watch for Bowman. I expect him to have a really good day. The next guy we'll get into, we'll stay on the Hendrick front, and that is Larson. I think Larson has had a lot of bad luck recently, and that can only last for so long when you are a driver as talented as he is. I know Richmond hasn't really been the most favorable track to Kyle, but then again, he's a stud. He's a superstar for a reason in our sport. So I think Kyle is due for a really good race. I think he's going to compete for a win. Do I think he'll get it done? I don't know. I don't think he's probably the favorite going into this, and the kind of clear cut favorite, if you will. But I think you have to watch for Larson. I think he has a really good bounce back day on Sunday. The next guy I think we really should watch for is a guy that had a lot of success on the 1 mile, sort of like this package last year, and also has had some great success this year early on. He's the only driver to finish every race on the lead lap. His name is Eric Almirola. And again, it's for that reason that he really did not have a great season at all last year, but when he did shine, it was on a track like this, a Richmond, a New Hampshire, some of the shorter tracks he did really, really good on. So I think this is a track where I know, Almirola has been good kind of all through the first part of this season, but I think now he's going to a track where he feels pretty comfortable at. And I think with that, he'll show pretty good results. I expect him to run top 10 all day. And I think he can go out and win this thing. I mean, he shocked the world last year at New Hampshire, and I don't want to, compare the two, but they're probably the most similar. Being Richmond, probably New Hampshire is the most similar track you can compare Richmond to. So, I think Eric Almirola is the guy that you have to watch for this weekend. And then the last thing I'll look at is JGR. I know JGR hasn't had the best start to this season. I think they've only had one top 5, which is crazy. Denny Hamlin hasn't been good. Truex has been okay. He was good a lot earlier on in the season, those first 2 races, and then he actually had a pretty good run at Coda, but he's good on road courses, so that's something we'd expect. Chris Bell, haven't really heard much about him this year, but I think JGR, they had the speed last year at this track. If you look at the first race where Alex Bowman won, Denny Hamlin led the most laps. You take it to the fall summer Richmond race, Martin Truex Jr. won that, and he had a really fast car. Denny was fast in that race as well. So, I think when you look at it like that, I don't know. I feel like the success, although it hasn't been there for JGR, I think it's going to carry over from last year. They're going to bring a good setup. They're going to bring a good car. And I wouldn't be surprised if, Kyle and Martin and Denny and Chris all make some noise this weekend, because they made the noise last year at this racetrack. And we'll see. I think this just feels to me like it's going to be the turning point for JGR. I think they can definitely get a win. I looked at Denny Hamlin. He's had success at Richmond. Martin Truex Jr., another guy that's been really good here. I think if you're looking for somebody to bet on, I would do one of those guys. I think this is going to be the week of JGR. JGR and Hendrick, really. And I think, we're going to have a really, really good race. Other guys, I mean, I don't know. I think Chastain is still a guy that you have to respect at this point, and he's just been really, really good all through the start of this season. Suarez has been good. I think you can expect Trackhouse to continue to bring, a good car now to this track. I look at Eric Jones. I think Eric Jones has shown flashes all season. He and Tyler Reddick as well. I think those guys you can expect to, again, bring the speed here. Richmond is a lot different than a lot of the things we've done. So that's why I think, don't be shocked if you see a Logano come out of nowhere and take this thing, right? But at the same time, I'm looking at Alex Bowman. I'm looking at Kyle Larson. I'm looking at Eric Almirola in the JGR cars. Practice is going to tell us a lot. Qualifying is going to tell us a lot. But then again, Christopher Bell was on the pole at Las Vegas and did not have a good race. Ryan Blaney was at on the pole at Coda, and I don't really ever think anybody was like, "Oh, Ryan Blaney's gonna win this thing," So we got to keep that in mind. And with that, again, I'm expecting a great race, hopefully. But I think the next gen has delivered all through the early part of the season, and I don't see why it won't deliver here at Richmond and make this a good classic Richmond race. So let me know what you think in the comments, who you think could win this thing. I mean, like I said, I'm excited. So thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe for more content.